Hello, hockey fans. How's everybody doing? There was only 3 games on the board yesterday. I picked an underdog team, and I only went 1 for 3. It was not an underdog night. We did have Boston beating Montreal 4-1. The upset of the night, obviously, the LA Kings beating Calgary 5-3. And then Vancouver beating Chicago 3-0. Markstrom had a great night, 49 saves shot out. Good for him. I mean, that was great goaltending. There are 11 games on the board for February 13th. We got Columbus against Buffalo. Buffalo being 4-5-1 in their last 10 with a current 1-game winning streak. Hutton probable in net for Buffalo. Their last win was against Detroit 3-2. Columbus 7-1-2 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Merzlikins probable in net for Columbus. Their last loss was to Tampa 2-1 in overtime. Another tight game by Columbus. Season series tied 1-1. Blue Jackets won 4-3 back in October, and then the Sabres won 2-1 in February. You got to go Columbus here. You have to think Columbus is going to completely dominate Buffalo. So I'm going to go Columbus. Columbus to beat Buffalo is my first pick. Then we've got Dallas against Toronto. Toronto being 5-3-2 with a current 1-game winning streak. Anderson's probable in net. He's listed. None of the goalies I'm listing tonight, or this morning actually, sorry, have been confirmed. They're all probable. So Anderson's probable in net for Toronto. Third in the Atlantic, their last win was against Arizona, which was 3-2 in overtime. Dallas 5-4-1 in their last 10. They have a current 2-game winning streak, and Bishop is probable in net. Their last win was against Carolina 4-1. They're third in the Central. The Leafs lead the season series 1-0. They won 5-3 back in January. 2 great teams, both in third place, one in the Atlantic and one in the Central. I'm going to go Toronto here. Toronto at home to beat Dallas. Game 3, Edmonton against Tampa. Tampa, 8-game winning streak, going for 9. Vasilevsky probable in net for Tampa. They're second in the Atlantic. Their last win was against Columbus 2-1 in overtime. Edmonton 6-3-1 with a current 2-game winning streak. Koskinen probable in net for Edmonton. They're second in the Pacific. Their last win was against Chicago 5-3. These teams have not played each other. This will be the first of 2 that they play each other this regular season. Can Edmonton stop Tampa? That's a question. Or is Tampa just going to keep on rolling here? I'm going to pick Edmonton. I'm going to pick an upset here. I'm sure Tampa's favored, but I'm going to take Edmonton to stop Tampa in their winning streak. Game 4. We've got Philly against Florida. Florida being 5-4-1 with a current 1-game winning streak. Bobrovsky is probable in net. Their last win was against New Jersey, 5-3. Philly 6-3-1 with a current 1-game losing streak. Elliott is probable in net. Their last loss was to the Islanders, 5-3. Season series tied 1-1. Panthers won 5-2 in November. Philly won more recently 4-1 in February. I am going to take the visiting team here, and I'm going to go Philly to beat Florida for my 4th pick. 5th game, Detroit against New Jersey. New Jersey 3-4-3 in their last 10 with a current 1-game losing streak. Blackwood is probable in net for New Jersey. Their last loss was to Florida of 5-3. Against Detroit, 2-8-0, current 1-game losing streak. Bernier probable in net. Their last loss was to Buffalo, 3-2. I think Detroit is playing a little bit better hockey, but I still don't think that they're a good team. Do I think New Jersey's a great team? No, but I do think that they're a little bit more together than Detroit. They lead the season series 1-0 with a 5-1 win back in November. I am going to take the home team here. I'm going to go New Jersey to beat Detroit. On to game 6. Arizona against Ottawa. I don't like either one of these teams right now. Ottawa being 2-5-3 with a current 3-game losing streak. Hogberg probable in net for Ottawa. Arizona 2-5-3 with an overtime decision. Ranta in net. They did put up a good fight against Toronto, but they ended up losing 3-2 in overtime. The Coyotes lead the season series 1-0 with a 5-2 win back in October. Again, I don't like either one of these teams right now, but I do think Ottawa plays a little better at home than they do on the road. I'm going to take Ottawa. I'm going to take the home team here, Ottawa, to beat Arizona. On to game 7. Game 7, we got the New York Islanders against Nashville. Nashville being 5-5-0 with a current 2-game losing streak. Saros is probable in net for Nashville. Their last loss was to Vancouver 6-2. Islanders 5-3-2 with a current 2-game winning streak. Third in the Metropolitan. Grease probably in net for the Islanders. Their last game was a win against Philly 5-3. Nashville actually leads the season series 8-3, where they dominated back in December. Again, I think I mentioned in another video, I think we forget how good this Islanders team is. At the beginning of the season, we were all talking about it. Now no one seems to talk about it, but I do like the Islanders. I'm going to take the visiting team here, New York Islanders, to beat Nashville. On to Game 8. We've got the New York Rangers against Minnesota. Minnesota 7-3-0 with a current 1-game winning streak. Dubnyk is probable in net for Minnesota against the New York Rangers, who are 6-4-0 in their last 10 with a current 2-game winning streak. Georgiev probable in net for the Rangers, and their last win was against Winnipeg 4-1. The Rangers lead the season series 1-0 with a win of 3-2 back in November. I mean, the Rangers, if Shesterkin was in net, I'd probably go with the Rangers. Panarin's playing really well. Minnesota's playing good hockey too, and I like Dubnyk as a goaltender. I'm going to take the home team here. I'm going to take Minnesota to beat the Rangers. That's my 8th pick. Game 9, Washington against Colorado. Colorado being 8-1-1 with a current 5-game winning streak. Grubauer is probable in net for Colorado. They're second in the Central, and their last win was over Ottawa 3-0. Washington 6-4-0, current 2-game losing streak. Samsonov is probable in net for Washington. They're first in the Metropolitan. Their last loss was to the Islanders 5-3. Colorado leads the season series 1-0 with a 6-3 win back in October. Ovechkin's obviously going to be playing hard, trying to reach that milestone of 700. Colorado, though, good team at home and good team on the road. I mean, good team all around. Grubauer playing great in net. I'm going to take Colorado at home to beat Washington as my 9th pick. Then we've got the St. Louis Blues against the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas being 4-4-2 in their last 10 with a current 1-game losing streak. Fleury is probable in net for Vegas. Their last loss was to Minnesota 4-0. St. Louis 3-5-2 with an overtime decision. Binnington is probable in net. They're first in the Central. Their last game was a scratch. That's when Bouwmeester collapsed. Quick note on that. I don't know any exact details, but I have heard that Bouwmeester is doing well, recovering. I mean, he's getting lots of testing done right now. Just happy to hear that he's doing well for him and his family. So that's awesome. So before that scratch, they lost to Dallas 3-2 in overtime. Season series is tied 1-1. Blues won 4-2 in December, and then more recently, the Knights won 5-4 in January. I'm going to take a look at the Blues here to beat Vegas. St. Louis Blues to beat Vegas for pick 10. On to Game 11, Calgary against Anaheim. Anaheim being 6-2-2, current 1-game winning streak. Gibson is probable in net for Anaheim. Again, they were involved with St. Louis in that last game, which was a scratch. Before that, they won against Buffalo 3-2. Calgary 4-5-1 with a current 1-game losing streak. Talbot is probable in net for Calgary. Their last loss was to LA last night, which was 5-3. Flames lead the season series 1-0 with a win of 2-1 back in October. The Flames have to be choked about losing to LA. They seem to have a tough time. I think, if I am correct, I think it's the last game that those two played, LA and Calgary, and I think obviously LA won that series three games to 1 game. So anyway, I don't know if Calgary just didn't take LA serious enough or what happened there, but I look for Calgary to get back on track tonight and win. So Calgary is my 11th pick over Anaheim. Just review those picks quick. I've got Columbus to beat Buffalo as my first pick. Toronto to beat Dallas. Second pick. Third pick being Edmonton over Tampa. Fourth game, Philly to beat Florida. Fifth game, New Jersey to beat Detroit. Sixth game, Ottawa to beat Arizona. Seventh game, the Islanders to beat Nashville. Eighth game, Minnesota to beat the Rangers. Ninth game, Colorado to beat Washington. 10th game, St. Louis to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. And then game 11, I take visiting team Calgary to beat Anaheim. Hope everybody's doing great, having a great week. Good luck with your picks, and thanks for watching.